Welcome into WagerTalk TV. Alongside Andy Lang and Tony Mejia, I'm Megan Payton. NFL Week 8 is here. Our Sunday night football matchup is the Green Bay Packers in Buffalo taking on the Bills. Aaron Rodgers is an 11-point underdog. That is the first time he's a double-digit underdog in his entire career. And look, it's just getting worse and worse for the Packers, who are sitting at 3-4. I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little bit sick of Rodgers every single week. Another headline about something he said in a press conference. This week, he's saying that if there's too many mistakes being made, the players shouldn't be playing. And to me, you're not the coach, Aaron Rodgers. You shouldn't be talking to the reporters this way. I think that it's actually going to make his team worse. To me, I can't find any reason to buy into the Packers. The Bills right now are number one in yards per game. They're number one in points allowed per game. Do you find any hope, Andy, for the Packers and the Bills? What can you expect for this Sunday night football game?
Oh, well, I have hope that the Packers will have fun playing the Buffalo Bills. That might be about it. But so I was trying to figure out a good way to attack this game. And I'm going to look at a little bit of an obscure one here. Let's take a look at the team total, Buffalo Bills. Over 13.5 team total points in the second half. I want to look at the second half. The Packers have really struggled. They've struggled to score themselves, and they're not holding the ball for a good time of possession in the second half. They just gave up 13 to the Commanders. They've given up 24 to the Jets, 17 to the Giants, and they're allowing 18 points a game in the second half in their last 3 games. The Bills have gone over this total in 4 out of 6 games. One game they didn't go over was against Pittsburgh, where they were so far ahead at halftime they didn't even need to score any points. They didn't even try. So you look at this total, as long as it stays under 2 touchdowns, and all I need is for Josh Allen to get 2 touchdown drives when the Buffalo Bills defense should clamp down on a struggling second half Packers offense. I really like this number as long as it stays below 14. By far my favorite play so far in this one. 13.5 total team points in the second half for Buffalo.
I've been looking at third and fourth down conversions. Last week, the Packers were 0 for 7 in third and fourth down conversions. And the Bills right now, first in the league for third down efficiency. Tony, how do you go about handicapping a game where Aaron Rodgers is an 11-point underdog?
I mean, you definitely have to take the point spread into consideration. But at the same time, the only bit of good news that Green Bay gets in this matchup is that Tre'Davious White still not quite ready to return. The star Bills corner who's been out all season. Looks like he's closing in on a return, but it won't be this week. But other than that, I mean, you really can't point to anything that you like. Buffalo's coming off a bye. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs right before the bye. If they didn't have the bye, then you could say, all right, well, that's kind of a letdown spot, with an emotional win over Kansas City that they executed late and getting a late touchdown, getting a late stop on an interception of Mahomes. Wow, that's a big high for Buffalo. Maybe they won't be able to come down from that. Nope, that's not going to happen because you've had an entire week off. And if you're Green Bay, you go out to London and lose to the Giants. Come back and you're at home and you lose to the Jets, who shut you down the entire second half, and then you have to win over the Commanders, and you don't, and you fall apart again. And so now you're in a stretch where you're playing 5 games in 7 weeks on the road before you hit your bye week. Their bye week, I mean, the schedule maker's doing them no favor. Obviously, that's all predetermined, but given the funk that they're in, to not have a bye week until week 14 just adds to the misery that is facing Green Bay this season. So you're facing the toughest opponent you'll see yet in this entire stretch. And all Aaron Rodgers can come up with is, well, it's a challenge for us because nobody expects us to win this game. Well, that's true, but there's no reason to think that they can come back. So even with the spread being what it is, you got no Randall Cobb. You're still not having any success with Romeo Doubs. It's really Alan Lazard has been the lone receiver that Rodgers has been able to connect with. You can't beat the Bills with just one receiver. They'll have to control possession, create some turnovers. I just don't see it happening. Maybe I could buy Green Bay getting a backdoor cover here, but it's another Buffalo spot where they'll impose their will especially at home. I mean, this is a huge game for them at home. You got Aaron Rodgers coming in. Everybody will be enthused coming in off a bye. So once again, I think the Packers are going to fall to 3-5, and they're facing an uphill battle getting back in the playoff race.
I'm with you, Tony. Maybe we'll see a little bit more out of running backs A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. They only had 12 combined carries last week against a 25th run defense in the Commanders. It just seems like a messy situation in Green Bay. Don't think it's going to get much cleaner this week against the Buffalo Bills. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Tony. Amazing stuff from you here at WagerTalk.com. Of course, they're on Twitter. You can find Tony at Mejia Dinero, and you can find Andy at Bump Sports. Download the WagerTalk TV app if you want more awesome NFL content as we get through the NFL season.